Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors in Winston, Chester. Glad to hear on this Monday morning. We've got a great week lined up for you here and all kind of stuff going on, all kind of exciting things going on as we start winding down in July. Today, July 16th. We're halfway through the month, and it's amazing July's passing by this fast, but it is. High today, 88, and low is going to be 76. It's not and also the water temperature is 88, so both of them are 88 degrees. Our weather, of course, brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. I'm going to run up there maybe this week or next week and shoot some video and show you some of these classes and all they'll be offering this fall. So it's a good time to be looking at some of that stuff. Our moon phase, our Monday moon phase, brought to us by Sandhill Seafood up on Highway 77. We're looking at the full moon is the 27th. That's going to be next Thursday, okay? So we're at we got a quarter moon coming up this Thursday and a full moon coming up. Actually, it starts on Thursday, but the actual full moon will be on Friday, the 27th. So be aware of that if you're fishing toward the full moon. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today is, like I say, we're about had some really good tides today on. But the rest of the week now, the weekend, we're not going to have very many good tides. It's going to be sort of not much movement, but today is a good, today and tomorrow will be good tidal flow. High is going to be around 12:20 and low about 10:28 tonight. So that's interesting to have that high tide around lunch. You always got an incoming tide. So really, to me, I like it better that way to have a high tide instead of early in the morning, the high tide later on in the morning. So you're fishing the incoming. Marine forecast will be west right around about 9 to 10. All right, let's take our break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Hope you have a big week planned, doing some stuff in the outdoors, doing a lot of fun things and all. I know a lot of y'all are getting ready to go to work, and some of y'all watching us on YouTube, but we always appreciate the viewership we have. Let's take a look at some of these pictures. We've got some more tomorrow, but let's start. The first one we're going to start at. Let's see if we can get them all squared away. Let me see. We're going to start with this one right here. Hey, Coach, sorry late on getting you a group picture from the Panama City Fishing Club's Veterans Fishing Trip. Fun was had by all, the entire boat limited out on the elusive red snapper. Definitely be doing it again next year, and hope it works out. You can go with us, and thanks for the job you do. And here is that veteran fishing trip, Panama City Fishing. We had the guys on the show, and great trip they had, okay? All right, next picture, Bill Buchanan sent this in. #1 snapper fisher, this is Hannah Felix, and what is a fine, healthy snapper, and we're winding down on snapper season. This is the last week of snapper season, so grab them while you can. All right, our next one, Conrad Freed, his gator trout caught at noon today on top water. Also his granddaughter's best friend, Katie Dillahay, first fish ever. All fish were released. And something about catching those big trout sometimes around noon on top water. That does happen more than you think. And here's a picture of it right here as he's letting it go. All right, Conrad. Straight out of Crystal River, Vicky Brown sent this to me. And you can see how healthy the scallops are down there. They're really nice and healthy. We're still 1 month away from an opening right here. In fact, a month from tomorrow would be the St. Joe Bay opening. I thought it was really neat. Sunday in the park. It's a little ahead of time, but Sunday, August the 5th, the Hospitality Rec Park, they're just going to have, all the churches are getting together over there. Corinth Baptist, Grace United Methodist, Theologia Assembly of God, and Theologia Baptist. They're uniting, which is cool. All the churches are getting together for free school supplies will be given out to children for the 18-19 school year, and a free live concert on August the 5th. This is a really good deal. Free hamburgers and hot dogs and cold drinks and all kind of stuff. So that's going to be at the Hospitality Rec Park. Good job for you folks over there. All the churches coming together on something positive like that. Listen, this is a good time to give some feedback. I won't read you the whole thing on shore-based shark fishing. The FWC just sent out want to get some information, and they're going to have a workshop. And the workshop in Panama City is going to be August the 6th at Gulf Coast College at the Holly Building, and it's going to be interesting because you can comment and get in person comment. They will try to gather public input on shoreline fishing. That's the only one in this area, really. Miami, Jacksonville, Daytona, one in Pensacola. But it's August the 6th, and the time is at 6 o'clock local time. Your opinion on shore-based shark fishing. I don't have a problem with it if people enjoy it. ICAST was last week at Orlando, and Michael Cowell walked in and he had his picture up on the wall like that. So good job, Michael. I'm real proud of you for doing that. Okay. Alan Shepard, my good friend, we used to dog hunt with our families and all. He's gotten in, he's a good outdoorsman, lives up in Tallahassee, fishing at the Jim Woodruff Dam. Now, Alan is a good outdoorsman. He really is, and he caught a 25-pound blue and a 35-pound flathead. And Alan, I talked to Alan, and we're going to get together. Alan, like I say, we used to do a lot of outdoor stuff, and we're going to get together and do a catfishing show somewhere around Jim Woodruff or something, because he's, I just love to spend some time with him and tell some old stories, and our dads were good friends. Our dads hunted together. So I'm going to get up with Alan. He wants to get up too, and we're going to do some catfishing pretty soon. Might wait to cool off. Mitch Coleman out of Mexico Beach. That was a big shark. I saw several pictures of it, and they fought him a good while and got him up close to the boat. But folks, that was a big shark. A lot of sharks out right now. Okay, all right, that's that. I do want to mention last Thursday we had the video on the tuna fishing trip we took out of Venice, and I really love going out there and fishing for tuna. I do it once or twice a year now, and it's just a good trip for me. Well, I was going to tell you, my buddies about us to put this trip together, and they'd never put a tuna trip together. And they called me and said, they didn't ask me if we wanted to go. They said, you are going with us. So I said, okay. And they picked me up in, like I said, up in Chipley. I parked up there. I want to thank Fred Buchanan for letting me park my truck in his backyard for those 3 days. And we gave him a mess of fish. I bet he's already eaten them. But anyway, what I was going to tell you, the boys that Tony and them said, that trip, that whole tuna trip, a 12-hour trip, now it's not but $1,500. I said, that's not bad, because there were five of us going. I said, that's bad, $300, and that's not bad for a whole day of fishing nowadays. And I was tickled, and so we get out there, and we come to find out you got to pay the gas bill. And we didn't know that. I didn't know it at the time, but they didn't know it. They pay for the gas. Well, you're thinking the gas is going to be a couple $100. We'll get out there, and all the boats out there have at least 300. Some of them have 4 300 horsepower. So we got back, we fished all day, had a great time. You saw the video, it was a marvelous trip. Get back to the dock, and they pumped the gas in it. They kept pumping. $628 worth of gas we used that day fishing. They never turned the motor off, but even though we did hook up to the, $628. So that was interesting. Also, be aware of that. The prices, so it ended up, around $2,000, which is, that's going, and that's still pretty cheap for the amount of fish we got as far as getting tuna and all. And like I said, the the red snapper and back snapper or gray snapper were like a bycatch. We caught that limit in probably 40 to 45 minutes. We were limited out right there as we hooked up to the corner of that oil rig. So just be aware of that. If you're taking a trip and all, it's a fun trip and all, get everything squared away ahead of time. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. You remember on last Friday's show, I hope you remember last Friday's show, we had the Sonny Lovin and Billy Melvin on with fox hunters, and great show. And I got, it's one of those things I really enjoyed doing. And what happened, we enjoyed it so much, we didn't get into our video. Sonny brought some videos, so we're going to try showing the video in a second. But before we get there, I just want to comment again on what a great occupation these guys have, during the day and all, but what a great recreation they do as far as fox hunting, and the passion they have for it. It's just inspirational to me as an outdoorsman to see how much they're carrying on such a strong American tradition as fox hunting. I want to encourage you to do it. I'd much rather see folks out there on a Friday night out in the woods that listen to those dogs running, then they're all sitting at a bar on Friday night doing other things. So that's just the way I am. So anyway, great job, fellas. We're going to try to show this. Y'all's going to work with me on it, and Sonny sent it to me. And the big thing is now, what you do is entertainment comes from you know your dogs, you raise your dogs, you have a personal relationship with each one of those dogs. You know them, they have different personalities and different things about those dogs. If you have dogs, you know what I'm talking about. You just have this bond with them. And then they take them out there to feed them good, they take care of them, and they take them out there to do what they want to do. They're like athletes. They're out there, like they're getting ready for a Friday night or Saturday afternoon ball game. They love doing that, and it's just something special. So and you want to hear that's old JoJo over there, and that's Pee Wee over there. No, listen, that's Susu or whatever their names are. But y'all, if you know dogs, you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to see what we can do in running these. I got a couple of short videos, but just listen to the excitement of it.
$7.11. 419, 416, 517, 217.
So anyway, then what happens? That was, the first one was actually doing the run during the night, during daytime, but also do some at night. Then the second one, we have scoring where the number, you call out the numbers, you have judges, you call out the numbers, and whatever dog is in front, you call out the number, like that's the number 712, and you just calling them out, and then you do the scoring later on. It's a process, it's not complicated, but you have different checkpoints and all where you do that. So I wanted to finish it up on that. I'm sorry we didn't have time to get it in on Friday, but we had so much fun just visiting and talking, and we talked after the show a good while. So, and run by see Bill and Melvin there, Sandy's Feed and Seed. The Melvin family has purchased that from Sandy. Sandy's still there and all, but they're going to have all kind of good outdoor stuff. And I guess that pot-bellied pig is gone. We'll see and all, but beware of that. One thing too, I was talking about them doing stuff at nighttime because it's so hot, and the importance of staying cool in the summer. So far, and I wrote down some things last night. How to stay cool. I know you know all this stuff, and I know I may sound like your mom reminding you, but just some basic fundamentals. And I actually wrote down 11. Of course, the water. You want your liquid intake. Stay in the shade as much as possible. We have a little umbrella on our boat, and if Gail's out there with me, we'll get under an umbrella at times. So that's shade. You cannot overemphasize the importance of shade. 10 o'clock, and also, like we talk about all the time, between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, that's when you really don't want to do a lot of outdoor activities if you can help it, although it's fun doing some stuff then. And a big sun hat, straw hat, any kind of big wide brim hat, that. It's a lot better than this, because if I wear this outside, I'm getting sun all through here. And the dermatologist, Dr. Sunseri, will tell you about that. Try to cover as much as you can. Important. And if you get a chance, just jump in the water to cool down and swim if you can. Now, don't jump in an alligator-infested pond or out there in the middle of sharks and all, but don't forget about just cooling the body down. I actually went for a swim the other day. It wasn't intentional, but that's another story. And also these little battery-powered fans. They're really, technology again is really increasing on those. You can get some really nice lightweight fans you can clip around the center console, and especially just blowing back and forth on you a little bit. Don't forget those. You're going to see more and more of those coming out for boats and all, or any kind of outdoor activities. I tell you where I saw them. I see them a lot at ballparks, all these tournaments and have to have at the beach and all. And everybody's got these little fans now hooked up and going back and forth, which is a great idea. Also, put a neck scarf, put something wet around your neck, a wet towel or something. You feel like you're getting hot, and cool. That core body temperature right in here and in your head. That's where you want to cool down. So that'll cool you down too. Of course, your clothing, lightweight clothing, and loose-fitting clothing, and something that's going to give you some breeze and all. And also, something I ran across last night I'd never think about: avoid caffeine and sodas and things like that, and sugar drinks and all. that's not going to help you stay cool. So drink as much water as you can, and take a break if you're actually doing physical exertion. Take a break on that. Okay. Speaking of taking a break, let's take our break right now. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Fishing Game Times today brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers, 9:55. I'm sorry, we're looking at 3:55 to 5:55. That's this morning. And this evening, 4:21 to 6:21. I was going to mention this about, I didn't get a chance to do a fishing report the other day, but a couple of things I wrote down, and that goes with it. Late afternoon fishing has been really good. Late afternoon fishing has been a lot better than early morning fishing, so keep that in mind. Late afternoon fishing been good. Live bait has been really good compared to artificial. It's tough catching them this time of year on artificial bait. And also look for your deep holes where the fish are cooling off, and if you're going to fish later on in the morning. And I've seen a lot of mullet jumping too. Now speaking of, also we've got a 2 kids tournament coming up this weekend. We have one over in Sea Quarters Marina over in Carabel, and that's a huge turnout for that. So don't forget that. That's this weekend. And also over at Trey Nick's having one at Nick's Restaurant over there in Freeport, and that's going to be a little catfish tournament. And I hadn't talked a lot about it, just ran across it the other day, so you can take some kids doing some serious fishing. And speaking of fishing, I just haven't been satisfied with what I've been doing with, and I like this because I've always, tried to do things better and try to improve each year and all kinds of things. And what this is, I haven't been satisfied tying my braided line to my fluorocarbon leader. I've tried different ways and all, but here's a new way I'm going to try. What I'm trying to do is simplify it, because when you get out on a boat and something happens, you got to retie. It's just hard to see in the sunlight. It's hard to, some of those knots you tie are a little more complicated. They're not complicated, it's time consuming, and you miss a little turn here. So I've been trying to really get simple, and I ran across this knot the other day on tying fluorocarbon to the braided line. So here I have 2 different colored lines. Okay, I learned. Okay, so you can see either one can be braided or fluorocarbon. It doesn't matter. But basically, you're going to put them parallel. Okay, there's the ends of them right here, are the ends of them. And you got them parallel, and just run it through like that. Okay, and just put them parallel. You can twist it if you want to, and that sort of help them stay together more. But all you're going to do is just make a big loop. Just make a big loop back here, and then you're going to bring, okay, I got that big loop, and you're going to bring it through, okay, 1, bring it back through, 2, okay, and then I'm gonna switch hands. I'm still bringing it through, okay, and then I'm gonna bring it back 1. I'm gonna bring it through the loop 3 times, basically is what I'm doing. Bring it through the loop 3 times, okay. That's all you do, and just pull it tight, okay? It's so simple. When I first tried it, I said, this ain't gonna work and all. And there it is. So now, voila. Okay, so that's all tied together. Of course, I don't have my scissors with me. Of course, you're gonna clip off the ends. And the knot is not quite that big. Of course, it's big on this side, but that is really, really strong. I mean, I can't pull that apart. So that's all you gotta do. I'm going to this one now. This is just something new. I just haven't been satisfied with what I've been doing. I've even used a little bit of swivels and all. That don't work good. But you want your fluorocarbon about this long, as far as your leader, about that much longer right there. And just be aware that the big thing that you just wanted to, you wanted to go through those guides really good. And I've had a problem recently with losing some lures. Of course, I've been on top water. Not a problem. You can go get them, but one of my guides, one of my ceramic guides, the 3rd one down from the top, was broken, and I was casting. In fact, I had Mason fishing the other day. He was casting, and it just cut it right off. Now, remember that braided line now, if you any kind of little abrasion something, it's like a razor blade. It'll just cut it like that. And what had happened that day several times, and I couldn't see out in the sunlight where the abrasion. When I got home, I checked the rod, and it was broken. A ceramic guide. So check your guides. And what happened? We lost a Paul Brown lure. And those things those lures are expensive now, and because that's going to sink, and you don't have time to get to it. But on top water, you're okay. I also want to mention, I might not have time to get to it. iCast was this past week in Orlando, the big deal on iCast, and I just showed a picture of Michael Cowart. Gail and I chose not to go this past week. We've been 3 years in a row down in Orlando. Really a lot of fun, really a lot of good quality fishing equipment and boating equipment coming out. It's the biggest tackle show in the world, and it's 3 or 4 days. And I know some local folks went. Michael and Mark went, and all. And we're probably going to go back next year. It's great that you can show. Remember the videos I did each time, but I looked up last night what won the best of show. It's something called the Panhandle or whatever. It's a live scope. I looked it up a little bit, and put out by Garmin. And what it does basically, it's a live view, like seeing sonar, a live view underwater. It gives you the ability to see everything around your boat and in real time in 3 dimensions. And it's called a live scope, all seeing sonar. And this is sort of what it looks like. And I'm not that familiar with it, but that won best of show down there, and I was impressed. When you see something like that win best of show, then have categories. I'm not going through all of them. I would like to see some of them best footwear, and that's important. That's a good-looking shoe to be on a boat and all. Okay, and also wading, all kind of best lifestyle apparel. The Frog Tog won that one. That's Jeff doing the modeling right there. Good job. And I've got over here technical apparel, but Frog, you can go online and just catch up on everything they're showing as far as different things and all. Also the waders, the best fly fishing accessories, all these categories. And these are voted on. When they're voted on by the attendees. If you have a badge and you registered, and there's only tackle industry people or media people like us that are there, so it's not a popularity contest. You walk through and you pick up things and, oh, I like this, and so I'm gonna vote on this. So really fascinating. So ICAST wrapped up last week, and I try to get Michael Calvert to come on and talk about some of the things he got to see down there and all. So I wrap it up for today. Thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. Big show tomorrow. Do something good today for your fellow man. Have a great day. Enjoy the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.